El exec, el exec, el exec. El Vélez, el Vélez, el Vélez. El fenómeno que todos quieren ser. El chamaquito que no pueden entender.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to episode 158 of the Exec Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Let's Wassan. So, how you doing? Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you're new. Comment, follow me on all my socials. So today we're breaking down F1 race. So we're previewing that championship weekend in NCAA, Big Ten championship, ACC championship, MAC championship, Big 12, Big 10, all the above, and week 14 of the NFL season, as well as the final bracket for the NBA Cup. But before all that, we got to get to some baseball news that just came down the pipeline. Luis Severino, formerly of the Mets, signs a 3-year deal with the Athletics, the Oakland A's. $67 million. Now, by the way, good for him. He's still a pretty good pitcher. But this means either two things. This is either a move for the Athletics to get some legit pitching in and make some type of run next year with the young kids, with Geloff and Butler, Rooker, and all of them. Or it's a move by the Mets to go after a Roki Sasaki, a Walker Buehler, a Corbin Burns, which they're also in talks of. So either way, good for him. $67 million. I think he's like age 32, 33. So, good for him making more money. He's going to do great. I think he'll be the number one pitcher on that staff. Definitely the oldest, I think. So, kind of like a Paul Blackburn that they moved on from last year. I think Lewis would be it's a good addition to the A's rotation for sure. And then also Astros offered Alex Bregman. He's going to be a free agent. He's a free agent right now. They offer him a $156 million contract for 6 years to try to keep him in an Astros uniform till he retires as a cornerstone of the franchise of 2 championships. And this amazing run that they've been on. But it's likely that he's not going to take it because he is looking more around the $200 million range. And I get that. But you will be remembered as one of the greatest Astros of all time. And the way that you play at third base, one of the best third basemen of all time, and the loyalty to the Astros while bringing 2 championships and a bunch of American League pennants to that team, I think it is in your best interest, even for future endeavors, to take the 156 for 6 years. Now, if you're looking to go to a Dodgers, Padres, Yankees, okay, I can get with that. But if you're going to sign with the Reds, the Giants, I'm not going to spoil on the Brewers, but the Brewers, or like if you're going to go to the Guardians, if you're going to go to a team where they can compete but they don't have everything, I don't know if that would be a wise decision for you. So I think you should take the 156. I think it's better for you. But yeah, Logan Wilson, Bengals linebacker, surgical cleanup on his knee. He's expected to miss the rest of the season. So a defense that was already bad, it's going to get worse. The Juan Soto sweepstakes starts heating up as he starts eliminating suitors. We'll see what those suitors are that he gets eliminated. But yeah, so that's the baseball news. Let's get to Formula One. All right, so they're going to the final race of the season. It's in Abu Dhabi. Okay? It's in Abu Dhabi. This is it. There's nothing after this. The Etihad Airways Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Practice starts tomorrow, 4:30 a.m. on ESPN2. This is the last. So, of this 4-year run of the Red Bull, right? This was the toughest one for Red Bull. Besides that first one, 2021, when he was like chasing down Lewis the whole season. Ooh, excuse me. I was working today. It's been a while. But I think this is the last race where you're going to know who's what in speed and skill, in success and car, team-wise. The Constructors' Championship is going to get decided on Sunday. I think McLaren takes it. I think McLaren is coming with a mission to win this race, to set the tone and set the temperature in the paddock for next year. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. I think McLaren wants to go in there, be like, "Yo, we're gonna be the number ones next year. This is what we're bringing." I think Red Bull is always going to be in it. I think Mercedes, I don't know what the type of configuration that Abu Dhabi is. I don't know if the Mercedes is going to be that good at Abu Dhabi. It hasn't been for the last couple years. Even though Lewis is really good at that track. And also for a farewell, it would be a hell of a podium or even a win for Lewis for a farewell for Mercedes to do that. And then you have Ferrari, which Ferrari has like the most to like gain because they're getting a 7-time world champion into the seat next year. So we still don't know where Adrian Newey's going. So that's a big chip to fall. And potentially the championship of next year. And then it's just a 1-year window, guys. This is because of the dominance of Verstappen as soon as the car changed in 2021. Not the dominant. 2021 wasn't dominance, but they started getting, and then 2022, 2023, absolute just wipeouts. And then this year was a little bit more closer. But this 4-year championship run, just like the 2010 to 2014 for Vettel, is over. After this race, either Max Verstappen wins, or even if he finishes 5th, next year it's going to be a total different ball game. Okay? And I think we're going to see a new crown, a new champion crown next year. New manufacturer and new name. I still expect Verstappen to be in it. By all means, I am not counting him out, and he could definitely win his 5th in a row. But considering what has happened this year and how the cycles of F1 go, I believe this is the last time Verstappen wins a championship in this current era. The reason I say it's a 1-year chance to try to knock off Verstappen and get also a championship for one of those teams is because come 2026, the whole ball game changes. The whole ball game. The cars are going to be smaller, sleeker, lighter. You're not going to have, I believe, a kinetic energy, a thermal energy. You're just going to have the electrical. So there's a bunch of different stuff coming to make it more not indie-like, but, you know, the size of the car has gotten too big. So get back to the smaller size, get Monaco back into a nice position of competitiveness. Baku, you know, places where you couldn't really pass in this iteration of the car, it's going to be able to pass in the 2026, plus even more saving of fuel, more sustainable, all that. So this is a 1-year window with this current car, this generation of car, for a McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes to win a championship. I think next year's the most even one so far. Okay. As for this race, I expect McLaren to come out swinging for the fences. And I would say Lando, but I like Piastri as well. But I'm going to say Lando tries to like fight back from what happened in Qatar for not taking the position, not being aggressive enough with Verstappen. So I'm taking Lando Norris. All right, let's get to college ball. I'm trying to do a quick one here. It's 7:04. We got Packers Lions today. Like, you know, I'm trying to go quick right here, but I'm still giving you guys what you want. You feel me? Efficient, but still. All right, so we have the Mountain West Championship, Boise State versus UNLV. I expect that to be a blowout. Ashton Genty needs somewhere in the vicinity of, let's see here. What's at stake? Boise State are not playing for Mountain, but they're also a newly expanded college football playoff group of 5 representative. Boise State has to win. A victory by Boise, first round bye, since it would be finished ranked higher than the Big 12's champion. Let's see here. Key matchup. Okay, Louis Josh Carey against UNLV. Okay. So Genty, who leads the nation in rushing with 2,288 yards, trails Barry Sanders by 340 yards. I don't think it's happening. 340? Remember, guys, Barry Sanders did this in 11 games. What? That's insane, bro. He still needs 340 to pass Barry. That's absolutely incredible. Still expect Boise State to win. Get the first round bye. American Athletic Championship, Army Tulane. I expect Army to finish the 11-1 season ranked. Iowa State, Arizona State, Big 12 Championship. If Arizona State wins, they're in the college football playoff. Because right here where it says, okay, the Big 12 Championship in the conference's first season as a 16-team league and a spot in the college football playoff. League newcomer Arizona State, which has never won an outright conference championship in any league, is looking for their first 11-win season since 1996, the year I was born. The Cyclones already have 10 wins for the first time in program history. This is their second Big 12 championship appearance after a loss to Oklahoma in 2020. I remember that game. I'm going with Arizona State. I like Iowa State, especially their receivers. Jalen Noel, I like him. Jaden Higgins, I like him. I've seen him play, but at the same time, I think Arizona State has a better defense, and their running back Skatibo is crazy. Cam Skatibo, he looks like Toby Gerhart, if you remember the Stanford days. But I'm going to go with Arizona State there to reach the college football playoff. Georgia, Texas SEC Championship. I think both of these teams are in. I think they're fighting for the first round bye. I think that's what they're fighting for. Let's see here. Yeah, so Texas is trying to win the SEC in their first season coming from the Big 12, which is insane. And then buy themselves a first round bye in the playoffs. Basically, it's the guys that have been dominant in the conference for the last 3-4 years in Georgia versus the newcomer Texas with Steve Sarkisian, former Nick Saban pupil, against another Nick Saban pupil with 2 national championships in Kirby Smart. I think this is going to be a quarterback battle, to be honest. This game will also decide where Carson Beck likely goes in the draft. Right now, not that high. This is also a big game for Quinn Ewers. A really big game for Quinn Ewers. I think Texas just has too much on that defensive line. I think it's the best defensive line in the country. I think that back end is one of the best in the country overall. Linebacking core is great. So I'm going to go Texas in the SEC championship. Texas is favored by 2.5 points. We got Penn State, Oregon. I'm going Oregon in the Big Ten championship. I believe they're both going to the college football playoff. They're ranked number 1 and number 3. They only have 1 loss and 0 losses. So even if Oregon loses, they're going even as a 5th seed. And then Penn State goes as, I guess, the 1 seed. And if Penn State loses, I think they're still going. So I don't, unless that there's maybe if Penn State loses, Ohio State comes up, but I'm not really sure. Ohio State's already in it. And then Clemson, SMU for the ACC championship. This one has a little bit because if SMU loses, I don't know if they have a spot in the championship. Let's see here. SMU faces a simple scenario: win and complete the first perfect and complete a perfect first run through its new league home. Yeah, they just came from the American to the ACC this year, just like Texas. Along with, and Oregon, of course, just came from the Big Pac-12 to the Big Ten. Along with likely a first round bye in the expanded 12-team college football playoff, Clemson needs to win to make the CFP, which would then raise at least the question whether a losing SMU team would make an ACC as a 2-bid team. So they can still get in, but it would be up to the committee. I've watched SMU. I've watched Clemson. And I'm going to tell you something. I like SMU's offense. I like they're explosive. That kid Jennings, Kevin Jennings, he can play. Their quarterback. I like their receivers. I'm going to go SMU in the SEC championship. They're favored by 2. Supposedly going to be a 55.5 total, so it's going to be a high-scoring game. But I'm going to go SMU. All right, that's championships. That's it. Now, we go to the NFL. Packers, Lions. Let me go to my predictor here and write them down. Week 14. We're going to go Lions. Yes, they're hurt on the defensive side of the ball, but I don't care. This is at home. They're favored by 3 because they're at home. I don't think the Packers can stop this offense, even if they wanted to. And I think that defense in the back end is going to cover up Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Terrion Arnold. I think that defense on the back end is enough for Zadarius Smith and Aleem McNeil to make an impact into the rush. And when we're talking about who's going to turn the ball over more, it's Jared Goff over Jordan Love. And like I said, it's in Detroit, so I'm going to go Lions there. Saints, Giants, I am going to go Saints there. I just think they're favored by 4 on the road in New York. I think that Derek Carr and Alvin Kamara and that defense just has more than the Giants right now because they're a defeated team. So I'm going to go with the Saints there, which I'm going to write. Jesus, we got to... Browns Steelers, we're going Steelers there. If you guys lose to the Browns again in Pittsburgh this time, that would be absolutely embarrassing and would give the Ravens a shot at catching you. So I don't think you guys are going to do that. I think you guys have too much pride. So I'm going to go Steelers here. Could be a possible, depending on the offensive line and how they play for the Browns, and Jameis throwing picks or throwing touchdowns. Look for a big, probably not a big Jerry Jeudy game, maybe a big Nick Chubb game, but I think the Steelers are going to have plenty of firepower to beat them. Falcons, Vikings, we're going Vikings here. Okay, I think the Vikings are prepared that if the Lions were to lose tonight against the Packers, that they can take that number 1 seed and the number 1 spot in the division with the Lions loss, and they win against. And I just think they're just a better team right now, better defense. The Falcons, I don't know if they're looking to start Michael Penix. If they do, then it's a crapshoot, honestly, because Michael Penix could be that good. But it looks like Kirk Cousins is still going to start. So, unless he gets pulled in the middle of the game for playing bad or something, I got the Vikings are just a better team offensively and defensively at this point, and they look like a legit playoff team. Raiders, Buccaneers. I'm going to go Bucs here. I think that they can smell that they can win this division from the Falcons. Knowing that the Falcons are facing the Vikings is also a boost for them to face a 2-10 Raiders team that's down on their luck and can't figure out anything except Brock Bowers. I'm going to go with the Bucs comfortably here. They're a 6.5-point favorite. Maybe a blowout in this game. Possibly a blowout. This is one of my definite locks of the week. Buccaneers, Raiders. Panthers, Eagles. We're going Eagles here all the way. I don't think the Panthers have a chance in hell. And I say that with all due respect. A chance in hell of stopping Saquon Barkley. Be careful. He might go for 200 this game and really chase down that Eric Dickerson record down. I expect a big game from Jalen Hurts, a big game from A.J. Brown. I expect that Panthers offense to look abysmal once more because of that Eagles defensive line and that back end. I just expect the Panthers to basically not be able to move the ball, running or passing. I think the Eagles dominate this game. 12.5-point spread might be a little bit bigger than that. Jaguars, Titans. Jaguars with Mac Jones, no Trevor Lawrence. Titans with Will Levis, Calvin Ridley, Tony Pollard. Listen, this is a toilet bowl. This is one of these. This is one of these. You know what I'm saying? This is one of these. Like, this is a joke of a game. But if I had to pick this game, man, you know what? Just because they're at home and I like their defensive line, I'm going to go Titans here. Don't feel particularly good about it for either team, to be honest. But got to pick a team. I'm going to pick the home team. I like that they can run the ball. I like that they have their starting quarterback and that Calvin Ridley seems to have woken up. And, of course, you still got, Nick Westbrook-Akine just, catching a bomb from Will Levis every game. So, with no Trevor Lawrence, just Mac Jones, I'm going to go with Will Levis and the Titans there. Jets, Dolphins, I'm going Dolphins here. Not that we can salvage much because everybody else around us have been winning, but I think for pride's sake, and also we don't want to lose to a dysfunctional Jets team that has fired their GM, fired their head coach. It's a total mess. It's at home here in Miami. We're 5-7. We will go to 6-7. Like I said, probably not a destiny-changing win, but, to build on for good habits for next year, I think is good. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins there. The Jets just seem to be discombobulated in every way. Can't get their defense right. Can't get their offense in order either. even with all the weapons that they have. It's pretty embarrassing. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins. Possible Tyreek Hill blow-up game, maybe. I don't know. Most likely Jonnu Smith one more time. But then we have a real legit matchup. This is a NFC West matchup for the top of the division. Seahawks going to Phoenix and to face Arizona. Arizona's a 2.5-point favorite. Based on what I saw last week from the Cardinals, I didn't like it. The Seahawks have been balling as of late, not literally, but winning. This is a tough game. They do play well in Phoenix. They need this win. If they do win, they get the tiebreaker over the Seahawks and then maintain their destiny to get the fourth seed, obviously, in the NFC and the division. So it's a lot hanging on this. It's going to be a lot of run game from James Conner. I don't feel particularly good about this because that Cardinals defense, I still haven't seen it be dominant. But I can't see the Cardinals letting this chance slip away when this division hasn't been open for the last 4 years because of the 49ers and how bad they've been. The Cardinals being, especially in the latter half of the season. So I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. Really don't feel good about it, guys. If I'm being honest, I would go Seahawks here. But I just know that run game could be lethal. James Conner, Marvin Harrison Jr., but I love that Seahawks back end, Tariq Woolen. You got Devin Witherspoon, Julian Love, Byron Murphy in the front. Guys, this is tough. You know what? I'm actually going to go Seahawks on the road. I think they have a little too much for the Cardinals. This is not me waffling. I really didn't know who I wanted to pick. I don't do these beforehand. I do these live with you guys. As you see, I do my pick live. So if you guys are impressed by my picks, know that this is no prep time. This is literally when I'm on camera and I read the matchup, I pick these games. So I appreciate it if you guys give me a little love sometime. 15-1 off of picks that I just based on what I know. Come on, guys. It's pretty good. Now, enough boasting. Bills, Rams. I'm going to go Bills here, even though it's at SoFi. Buffalo's only a 3.5-point favorite. I think that's going to be a lot more. I think the Bills are going to run the shit out of the ball. I like that Rams front line, but at the same time, I don't like it that much against that Bills O-line. James Cook. I expect the Bills to be able to throw the ball a fair bit. I expect Josh Allen with a nice MVP performance, win by a touchdown or two. I'm gonna go Bills here. They're basically syncing up. As long as the Chiefs are still up, they're syncing up that second seed in the AFC. We go Bears 49ers, and this is a crapshoot of anything. It's in Santa Clara. The Bears have been playing better as of late. The 49ers have been playing shitty, especially on defense. Last week, they got their asses handed to them by the Packers. They're 5-7, last in their division. So are the Bears. But I think that the 49ers have too much pride. I'm going to go with the Niners to try to, say that, we can still catch the other two if they slip up. So I'm going to go with the Niners. Again, this is based on, and I don't even know if Trent Williams is playing, which would be a giant thing because Montez Sweat, if Trent Williams is not playing, that would be a very, very, very big hit towards, let's see here. He's questionable, so he's going to play. All right, so if Trent Williams is going to play, I'm going to go with the Niners. I think that they just going to have too much pride of how good of a team they've been to lose to the Bears, especially at home. Chargers, Chiefs. I'm going with the Chiefs here, and the only reason I'm going with the Chiefs, not just because they're the Chiefs, but also because if I look at the receiving cores, it is a rookie, a second-year receiver, No running back for the Chargers. They have a good offensive line, a great defense, but then they're facing a great defense, the best quarterback in the last 10 years, and one of the greatest tight end of all time, one of the greatest receivers of this era in D-Hop. And Pacheco is healthy. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I think Pacheco is a big part of this win. Possible 100-yard game from him, really leaning on him. So I could definitely see the Chiefs kind of doing a muddy game, but still looking dominant, looking like they're still a better team. And then finally, Monday, we got Bengals, Cowboys, 5-7 versus 4-8. Nobody's fighting for nothing. Both of them are basically eliminated in both of their divisions because the other teams are doing so much better. If I'm being honest, I want to go Bengals here. The reason why is very simple. Cincinnati's a 5-point favorite in Dallas. Okay, so they're seeing the game like I think there's no way that you can cover T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, and the way Chase Brown is kind of running and catching the ball. I like it. Joe Burrow's on another level right now against Cooper Rush. That's not even a debate. The only question mark is going to be, can that Bengals defense hold this Dallas offense? I think this Bengals defense is better than the Giants were last week. So I'm definitely gonna go with the Bengals here on Monday night. Joey B going into Dallas and just slinging the pill all over the place against the Dallas Cowboys. All right, so that is the NFL for this week. Lastly, let me talk about this NBA Cup. We'll talk about the standings later, but the NBA Cup officially is New York, Orlando, Milwaukee, Atlanta. That's your Eastern Conference. So it's Atlanta, Milwaukee, Orlando, New York. That's your Eastern Conference 5. On the West, you have Houston, which is crazy that they got out from the Clippers, Minnesota, Sac, and Houston came out. OKC and Golden State, with Dallas being your wild card. So Dallas, Golden State, OKC, Houston on the West. If I look at this right now, as everybody has been playing, I like Milwaukee. I like the Rockets. I really like OKC. And I like Golden State. Dallas has been picking it up lately. And you can never really count out Orlando. I like the Knicks as well. But if I'm looking at how it has been, especially in in the NBA Cup, I like Milwaukee. I like the Knicks. I really like the Rockets. I really like OKC. I like Golden State, and I like a little bit of Dallas. Boston didn't make it, and the Lakers, defending champs for the NBA Cup, didn't make it. And the Pacers, who faced the Lakers last year, went 0-4 in group play. So very competitive. The standings real quick as they stand right now: Cleveland, Boston, Orlando, the Knicks. Milwaukee's at 5. They finally figured out the offense. Atlanta 6, Miami, Brooklyn, Chicago, Indiana. Detroit is a half game back, and Toronto's a game back, with Charlotte being a game and a half and Philly being 2 games back of that 10th spot. Washington's 15 and a half games back. That's over 5 games. So they're done. In the West, way tighter: OKC, Houston, Dallas, Memphis, Phoenix, Golden State, all separated by 3.5 games or less. 7 Clippers, 8 Denver, Lakers 9, San Antonio 10, all separated by less than 2 games, from 5 to 3.5 games from the top spot. And then Minnesota tied with San Antonio at the 11th spot, except San Antonio probably has a win against them. Sacramento is a game and a half back of Minnesota and of San Antonio. Portland's 8.5. That's a little too far already. And then Utah 12.5 and New Orleans 12.5. So that's tough. But thank you guys for joining us today. That was your NBA little run up. I love you guys. God bless you guys. This has been episode 158 of the Exec Talk Podcast. I am your host, El Velez, and I leave you all with the outro.
El exec, el exec, el exec. El Vélez, el Vélez, el Vélez. El fenómeno que todos quieren ser. El chamaquito que no puede